had my eyes locked on Kristen as she opened up the studio door this morning, sat down, adjusted her mic, put her headphones on, looking for signs that she might be in pain from our intense 4-minute workout yesterday.
Okay, stop.
Down in the gym.
We were down there at least 10 minutes with you showing me the ropes. All right.
I think you did great.
So to reset this, about a year ago, I think I went to a place called Stat Wellness because I was trying to get my UTIs under control, which we did, which is amazing. And if you want me to share tips and tricks about that, hit me up, Kristen@thebertshow.com.
It can't be any more graphic than the dribble stuff that we talked about yesterday.
That is very, very true.
We could do it right at 7:30 this morning if you'd like.
You know,
Pretty graphic.
It would be my honor. It actually would be way less graphic than what you guys talked about. And throughout that process, you know, you do body analysis, you do blood work, and it has come to my knowledge that I am weak AF. So I need to do strength training. And I have come to learn that strength training is very important for women because, you know, as we age, it's something that is going to keep us healthier longer.
Helps your metabolism, helps you burn calories. It used to be cardio.
Yeah.
And now they're learning that as we get older, strength training is the priority.
Yes. And so that is something my nurse practitioner was like, hey, you know, we're trying to fix me in bite-sized chunks instead of like, because there was a lot of stuff I needed to start taking, et cetera. So we just kind of picked and choose. So now I'm working on my hormones because I'm in, you know, perimenopausal stage and I really need to work on my strength. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that's like a year ago. I didn't do anything. Bert's like, download the Fitbod app, which I did. I downloaded it. I looked at it.
Oh, the app, yeah.
But I didn't do nothing with it.
So for those of you that are new around here, this Fitbod app, it just puts everything together for you. So much time is wasted in the gym. Like once you get there, you're like, oh, okay, what am I going to do today? Should I do this, that? Fitbod puts your entire schedule together based on what muscles you want to do or a routine. So it just takes the guesswork right out of it.
Yeah, I never used it.
Shows you how to do everything.
Literally, like I opened it once. I downloaded it. I opened it once and I never opened it back up again.
Well, you burn calories even opening it up.
Yeah. And so now we fast forward and I had another appointment and I was proud of myself because I almost canceled the appointment. I was like, no, girl, we're going to go. We're going to be accountable for what we have and what we have not done. And I told my nurse practitioner, I'm like, here's the deal. I haven't lifted a weight. I've been maintaining my hot yoga, but as far as strength training goes. And so,
was she shocked?
No, she was very sweet and she was very kind about it.
Or was it mostly like the response when somebody you know that is clearly gay finally comes out to you and says, hey, I just want to let you know I'm gay. And you're like, come on, man.
In what world does this analogy work?
I mean, come on.
She was probably already prepared to move past you not doing it. Yeah.
I mean, we all knew.
She knew what time it was.
As soon as I walked in and she looked at me, she's like, yeah, no, this girl hasn't lifted a weight since the last time I saw her. And so now that has been bumped up to the priority list. So I came to you guys lamenting. Actually, I was like complaining to Bert at dinner. This has turned into a whole thing.
Many dinners for a year.
Whatever.
It's been a year.
And you're trying to like fix it. And I'm like, I don't want to fix it. I just want to not do it and complain about it. Huh? And then we're on the air and Abby's like, hey, in order to hold you accountable, if you don't do like the strength training that you have set out to do, we'll put you on the cover of a magazine. And I'm like,
great idea.
I love making things worse. Yeah. And so that idea got thrown out. And then magically,
yeah.
You actually like read emails and like reached out to people, and 2 people walked in the studio yesterday from Simply Buckhead magazine.
I got really fired up about this one.
Yeah,
How hard has he worked in a little bit?
10 years.
I was like, he really wants to make this happen, doesn't he? And so your lovely friends from Simply Buckhead magazine came in here, and they were like, we definitely want to be a part of this. We will do a whole wellness
Spread,
article. Yeah, a whole wellness article. I don't like the word spread for some reason.
This is where you and I differ, friends.
I see nothing wrong with it.
Peanut butter spread is amazing.
Yeah.
So they're going to do a whole wellness spread, and I'm like, this is comical, but it's a way to hold me accountable. So we all agreed to it. And she was also lovely enough to offer up where she works out, which is Pinnacle Fitness. And I was like, you know, that's such a generous offer. I recognize my circumstances, that I have the funds, and I also, if I really wanted to, the time to figure this out. So we're in the process of figuring out how a Bert Show listener can join me on this journey, and we can be workout buddies who may not have the time, may not have the means to do this.
You're accountable to each other. When you have a partner like that, it's really great because, look, they're slicing out a time of their life at 3 o'clock every day or 2 o'clock every day, and that puts pressure on you to do that. That's why I don't have an accountability partner, because I like the flexibility of working out when I want. But when you know, like you're in the place that you are right now, that you're not really fired up.
No.
If there's somebody else that's going to be there, you're on their time also, and they're on your time. So it does give you more motivation to go.
And when somebody invites you to their gym, I feel like it's good and bad. It's like when somebody invites you to their church, because every time you don't come and you show up, you're going to get all the eyes. The judgment is real.
So yesterday after the show, Bert was very kind enough to go downstairs, because we have in our office building a small but nice gym.
It's got everything in there that you need.
And it's clean and it's nice. And I'm like, cool. So we went down there, and you were extremely helpful.
Thank you.
You really know, you can tell you know what you're talking about, and you actually have like passion behind it. So we went through, we worked focused on upper body. So he just showed me different things and how to use them, and how to go slow. And it's not about the weight. It's about the movement and getting the form right. Thank you. Form was the word he was using.
It's so intimidating. I understand where you're coming from. It's so intimidating to go in there when you don't know exactly how to use the stuff. I mean, you know, this goes up and this goes down, but there really is not an art to it. But there's and most people in a gym, in my opinion, don't work out properly. They're just trying to get through it. So they're lifting as heavy weights as they can, as fast as they can, which you end up getting injured. Then you can't work out at all. So there is a way to do it. And you were very receptive to everything.
So I took everything you said. And again, we were down there 10 minutes because you were just showing me the lay of the land so I could get comfortable. You will be proud to know that after I came back up here, did the rest of my stuff, I went back downstairs and did my 20-minute strength training.
Great.
Now, here's the thing. I walked into that gym, and there were 3 people in there.
Oh, no.
You know what, though?
Sold out.
They don't know what they don't know what you know, though. So they don't know that this is your first time down there until you start lifting the weights.
It's true.
So there was 2 guys, and then there was a woman. And a woman and I actually walked in together. And I actually kind of loved it. It was cool. She was like in jeans and a sweater, and she just went to the treadmill, and she was just doing some walking while I guess she had a break or something like that, which I thought was very cool. And I'm like, I never thought of doing that. And so I straight up, I almost turned around and walked out because there were 3 people in there. And I'm like, I didn't want to, but I put my stuff in the corner. I don't know why I didn't put it in the locker room. That would have been smart, but whatever. I was being awkward. And I grabbed those 2.5 weights. All right. And I stood in the corner and I did these.
Curls. Bicep curls.
And then I did these.
Tricep
extensions.
I feel it.
With 2.5 pounds, you might as well have been lifting marshmallows.
That is not true,
it's her
Abby.
first time,
Do not
Abby.
shame her.
Sorry, okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say, I know you're joking. It was actually hard. That's how bad I need to do strength training. And then we went up like this and did those.
Yeah, shoulder press.
Yeah.
And then I went over to that ropey thingy. And then I pulled it. I did that.
Tricep extension.
The ropey thingy, and I did that. And then I went over to the machine thingy where you kind of sit and lay back, and then you push up.
The bench
the
press.
Smith machine.
Yeah.
No, I think
Not
she
the Smith machine?
I don't think she was on that one. I think that's the one that just leans back, right?
Leans back.
Yeah,
Oh,
just-
Hold this.
okay. Yes.
And
she
you
was
do
doing
that.
like upper chest.
So
Chest.
I did 10 reps for 3
Three
cycles.
sets.
3
of 10.
sets?
Yeah, 3 sets of 10.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that's what I did yesterday.
I loved doing this with her yesterday, and I'm so glad she's talking about this. And I'm glad she just worked out for 20 minutes because a couple of things here that Abby was joking about is that your form means nothing. I mean, the amount of weight that you're lifting in the gym means absolutely nothing at first, right? It doesn't matter at all. Your form and you're building the foundation. God, I sound like such a dork. You're building the foundation of working out for a long time. And if your form sucks, that's where injuries happen. You're not going to see any kind of results at all. So it's really important to go in there without heavy weights and do everything nice and slowly. Get your form right. So these are the building blocks of working out for a long period of time. And I also think that for whatever reason, the industry standard is going in there for 60 minutes. You know, trainers say, okay, maybe they're trying to get your money's worth for 60 minutes, but mentally, there are some days you just don't want to work out for 60 minutes. So you don't go at all. And I've always said, then go for 20. That's it. Go in there. And it doesn't want to be something that you're looking at and you're like, oh, I got to do this again. But 20 minutes, you could do 20 and then do 60 the next day or don't.
Yeah. I will say, I walked in Abby and I grabbed the 5-pound weights. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not. I knew what in my head, like how many I had to do and all that stuff. And I picked up the 5 because there's people in there. And I'm like, they're going to look at me like a weakling if I use the small, like the 2.5s. And I picked up the 5s with and then I was like, yeah, no. And I put those down and then grabbed those. And then I actually thought I need to stay in here longer because me and this girl walked in together, right? And she's going to be like 20 minutes, blah, blah, blah.
I do that myself too.
Right?
Yeah, if I walk in with somebody, I feel like I have to leave after them.
Right?
Is that right?
Yeah. And she's still sitting there, walking and stuff on the treadmill. And I was like, no. I said I was going to do 20 minutes. I did my 20 minutes. Deuces.
And then got up.
And then I left.
I think there's a lot of people here that feel the same way you do. And I'm so glad we're talking about this. And the fact that she went in there, she was feeling insecure about it, didn't know how anything worked, was self-conscious when other people came in there, is the same thing that everybody goes through the first time they're in the gym. You're not going to believe the gains you make over the course of the next couple of weeks. And you will look back at this first day and go, oh my God, I can't believe that I was so intimidated by this. And it happens fast.
Okay.
And you're going to feel better. And you're going to be able to pick up your kid. And it's not going to be a problem. You're not going to have back problems and stuff like that. And you're going to go into your doctor's office and they're going to go, oh my God, look how buff you are.
Well, letting you know, today is not a strength training day because Mom was getting a facial. Hey.
Embrace the soreness because you're going to feel it a little bit, especially tomorrow. It's usually that next day you're going to feel it. Yeah.
We'll start talking about things that you can take after your workout for your recovering muscles and stuff like that. But that's the advanced course.
All right. And that's Sauvignon Blanc, right?
I'm sure there's some protein in there somewhere. If you weren't listening to yesterday's show, then you missed the agreement that we all made for all of you guys listening right now when it comes to your relationships and watching TV shows together. And now it is American law. That's just how it works now. Okay? So, and the law that we made yesterday, I do think will end some friction with some of you guys that are couples and you have a show together, a dedicated show together that's only yours and his, right? What's the rule we came up with yesterday?
The rule is if you are watching a show with your significant other and your significant other falls asleep at any point in the episode of that show that you are watching, they now have to finish that episode in their own time, and you should not be forced to have to watch it with them.
I think the rule was they have to watch that show before your next scheduled time to watch together.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. They got I think whatever time that you allot them, they have, and you also, I think we established, cannot go on and watch another episode.
Right.
Unless they don't finish it in the allotted time.
Right. Yeah, then you're on your own and free at last, right? And you and I were complaining about it because this was a problem with our ladies. They were falling asleep. We're not exactly sure when they're falling asleep, or maybe we are. We just pretend we don't know. We want to watch the whole thing, but they're falling asleep, right? So as karma would have it, there we are last night, me and Amanda watching Bloodline together, and I fall asleep first.
No.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. So now I have 24 hours to catch up, or she's on her own.
It's only fair.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
New law in America, and it will help every single relationship.
That has been established.
Yes. All right, today is Follow-Up Thursday. This is the day that we reserve for you guys hitting us up going, hey, Bert Show, you never closed a blank storyline. And today it had to do with a quote-unquote donor.
All right, Margaret and her wife decided to ask their male friend to be a sperm donor, mainly because they admired his intelligence, kindness, and health history. After careful consideration, they chose to make the ask in private at their home over drinks rather than in a public place. When they brought it up directly, their friend was initially shocked, but then felt flattered by the request. The main concern he expressed was how a future girlfriend/wife might feel about him having a child with a lesbian couple. He didn't say no, but asked for time to think it over, which the couple totally understood and didn't want to pressure him about. They were hoping to start the family planning process early this year, so they were giving him space to consider while knowing they may need to explore other options if he declined.
I've got the update. Hi, everyone. Excited to share this update. We were pretty impatient to get an answer. I tried my best to give him time, but my wife had other ideas. We invited him to spend a small Friendsgiving dinner, just the three of us. But At dinner, my wife decided to forego the turkey and instead ceremoniously served him a turkey baster on a silver platter.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, he laughed. And then we got serious. We talked about how grateful we felt to have him in our lives and shared all the qualities we love about him that made it obvious to us that he would make the perfect donor. Well, flattery works because he took our hands in his and tearfully accepted. With
We're having a baby.
Really?
Right?
Then he went immediately to the bathroom.
With some caveats, he wanted to... Where did it go? He wanted to make sure we were all protected legally. Naturally, my wife and I had consulted with an assisted reproduction attorney. Can you even believe those are a thing?
No, I didn't realize that was a thing.
Makes sense.
Before we ever spoke to him about it, we were all on the same page. So nailing down the details of the sperm donor contract went smoothly. He relinquished all the rights and responsibilities, and we legally agreed to compensate him for his donations with an extra large thin crust meat lover's pizza and a side of homemade ranch.
That's it? He gives you a baby and you just get him some Little Caesars?
That's what friends do.
And for a lesbian couple celebrating with like a meat lover's pizza doesn't seem appropriate at all. I would be so flattered, man, if two women came to me and they're like, "Hey, we're looking at you, and we think, you know what, we could really use what you got inside of you because we think it would make great baby." I'd be so flattered.
It's a major compliment.
Yes.
I would be too, for sure.
But I think we talked about this before also. You'd probably say something like, "I wouldn't be able to do that and then not have any kind of connection at all to the family."
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's super tough.
But you could be Uncle Bert.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because they're friends. It's not like they're going to have the baby and then you're never going to talk to them again. Like, this is a close friend of theirs.
Yep.
So you're going to be in the fold. So you get like the perks of having a kid, but not.
Right.
Like, you can have fun with the kid, and then when the kid starts crying, you can be like, bye.
Once he was officially notarized as our future child's fun uncle under the eyes of the law, we got down to business. We are officially trying. We've got home insemination kits and bulk and a prayer. Here's to hoping for a baby in 2025. Thanks again.
Okay, so there's another thing I didn't know. There are home insemination kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
I learned so much today. The more you know. Yesterday was dribble day. Today, something totally new, man.
A different kind of triple.
But in the same area.
I don't know. I've always kind of felt that the more polished a couple is online, the more cracks they have in their relationship in real life.
I agree.
Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh, it never fails when you see a post and they're either posting about their anniversary or for their significant other's birthday, or it'd be for Valentine's Day tomorrow. And it's just like this long message about every little detail. And it's so over the top that you feel like you're overcompensating for something that's lacking in your relationship.
Yeah.
Don't forget the sentence about the ups and the downs they've gone through. Anytime you see ups and downs, you're like, okay, divorce is imminent.
Now, I'll point the finger right at me in past relationships. I've done this. And Amanda and I now, it's something, it's really weird. The authentic tweak that I feel in the relationship that I'm in now, like, you know what's better than telling somebody online how much you love them and how special they are?
In person?
It's kind of crazy, man. Right? Like, now I don't even know what's the need for it. And Amanda and I made this agreement also that, you know what, let's just keep as much private as we possibly. We don't have anything to prove to anybody. We know what's real and we know what's not. So let's just not, right? And I've been really happy with that. Really happy.
In my current relationship, I haven't posted anything online, and it's honestly been one of the best decisions I've made.
Yes, it is.
It made me realize how often I fought over things that had to do with social media in past relationships.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until I actually looked back. Like, a lot of that came from outside sources, not within us. It's worked for me.
So this is a video from Put Out Content on Instagram that sort of solidified the way that I think about it.
You want to know how you can tell if a couple is not going to last? How often are they posting each other on each other's Instagrams? This is the Instagram theory. Every single time I have seen a couple that blast each other nonstop on social media, there's stories all the time, there's cute little photos, they're always making sure that you know when they're together. They don't last. They don't last more than 6 months. If they're lucky, they make it to a year, and then they have the nastiest breakups you could ever imagine. I think it's because people in healthy relationships don't need to broadcast to the world that they're in a healthy relationship. They have nothing to prove. But those that are in toxic or not the best relationships, they feel the need to get the validation that the relationship is actually something worthwhile from other people, as opposed to searching for it within themselves. It should be just enough to know that, hey, baby, you and me, we're all good. But some people, they need to let everybody know that the outside looks good when the inside, not so much.
Now, I buy into that, but do you think that we're living in a time now that when you're not posting, especially people your age, Abby, 27, 28 years old, when you're not posting about your relationship at your age, people think that you're hiding that things aren't going great?
Well, I think it depends on the couple, because I think if it's mutually agreed upon that we're just not going to post about each other, we're going to be private, but not a secret. I think when it starts to feel like you're keeping a secret from the world, that's when it looks a little shady. And if there's one person that wants at least, not the validation, but the recognition that at least you're telling people about me, I could understand how maybe that would be a sign that maybe there's something lurking underneath the surface.
This timing is epic because I just did a post about my husband yesterday.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I did it in my Insta story. I shared a text exchange between the two of us, and he said at 2:57 p.m. yesterday, heading home, need anything? Did he nap? And I responded, we good, made pizza, no nap. And then I quickly followed up, that's a lie, started my period, need tampons and cheesecake.
That's a real relationship.
That's a couple that's going to last.
I applaud you.
And he came home. I didn't even have to tell him what kind, none of that. He came home with the proper kind and size and not 2 slices of cheesecake.
That's an experienced couple right there. Because as a newbie couple, you walk in there, when she makes that suggestion, you are overwhelmed by the choices.
Absolutely. Too much pressure.
Yeah, he knew what brand and he knew to go super, super plus.
All right, so Lena needed our help here on a background check, and we have offered this to you guys also, that we got a woman. We don't got a guy. We got a woman.
We got a gal.
We got a gal that is a PI that will go online and also do a background check offline. If there's somebody in your life that you don't quite trust, you go ahead, you tell us about it. She'll do the background check. We'll report back to you. And in this case, Lena needs a roommate desperately, and she has somebody in mind, and this is so smart. So smart. She wanted to do a background check on the person she's going to be living with. It doesn't have to do really with anything romantic, but this is so smart, right?
It's smart from a safety standpoint, but a background check doesn't show you if someone's an absolute weirdo or not, or if they do the dishes when it's been sitting around for 3 days.
Right,
Fair.
right. Hey, Lena, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. I would take dirty dishes over my last debacle any day.
Yeah,
So-
I could do an entire 4-hour show on bad roommates and include myself as one of them.
I was going to ask if you were in that list.
Yeah, I was the guy that moved in a girl without really getting anybody else's approval on it, even though it wasn't like official.
I've lived with you at once. I had a roommate that did that.
I'm that annoying.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Lena. So what do you got going on with this housing situation? Who are you thinking about bringing in as a roommate?
So I'm thinking about bringing in somebody named Marissa. She seems to have a good job. She seems to be polite. But I've been burned before. So my last roommate was, let's call her Claire. Okay. And I met her online. She was very sweet. She was reliable. She also had a stable job. She also had good references. She liked to bake. So
Score.
that,
Yeah.
seemed promising. And then after 3 months, it was rent is on the way, never actually came. The check is in the mail. People were coming and going to the apartment at all hours. And I actually, so the straw that broke everything was that I came home from a work trip and I came to the apartment. I found that Claire and half of my furniture were gone.
Oh, okay.
That's a punch to the gut.
And-
Were you able to track her down? Were you able to track your furniture down, or was it just a total loss?
It was a total loss, not just of my furniture, but what she did leave was the stack of bills
Yeah.
unpaid. She left the table so that I could, so that she could leave the bills on the table.
Would there have been anything that showed up on a background check, though, that would have made you think, this is a woman that's going to act like this?
I mean, the landlord, the landlord's supposed to do their background check. They did it on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the landlord was very upset. I was upset. The landlord was supposedly just as blindsided. So I don't know. But I have an eviction notice over my head, so I'm the roommate.
Yeah,
so I cannot, and I can't afford to back pay this other person's share.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You never got any compensation or anything out of her?
Nothing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Gone through so many roommates, so many
Nothing.
different places, and you don't know until it's too late. You think they're great
don't
quality
know.
people, because everybody can take their crazy crown off for 90 days, and then they move in your house, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? And it's too late at that point.
It is. And I trusted my gut with the last one, so now I don't even trust my gut anymore. So I'm just...
I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Yeah. Right. All right. So you wanted us to do a background check just to make sure that she doesn't have anything in her past that would be any kind of an example of what she might be like as a roommate, which we did. All right. So if you hang out for just a couple of minutes here, we will tell you what the results of that background check are. Okay. I think what Lena is doing here is really, really smart, doing a background check on somebody that she's thinking about moving in together.
Yeah. I mean, when Lena called us up and said that she had a crazy roommate that all of a sudden just up and left one day and took all of her furniture, well, half the furniture, she left the table, and then put all the bills on the table, she thought, okay, if I'm going to get a new roommate, I got to at least do my due diligence. So when they screw me over again, then I can at least know that I did everything I could to prevent it.
I've had so many roommates in my life, especially in college, that I'm looking back at it now going, would a background check shown up anything that would have been an indication that Dennis used to use the bath towels to wipe his butt with everybody else's bath towel and just keep them on the rack?
That is so disgusting, man.
The answer to that is no. Would any background check have put together that Dennis was going to shave his head into the bathroom sink and not clean up after himself?
Dennis sounds like a menace.
Dennis came from a very rich family, and I don't know how he... Well, there you go.
That explains it, actually.
Actually, that's up.
It's giving entitlement.
It is very much given entitlement. All right, Lena. So you asked the background check, and again, you've been burned in the past, and you're having some thoughts. The person that you're thinking about moving in with now, have they given you any indication that they might have just a little shadiness going on, or is this all based on past experience?
It's really hard to tell because I'm so hyper vigilant about it now that I don't know. Everything seems like a red flag. Every little thing right now. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? Give people the benefit of the doubt and let the background check speak for itself, right? So, yeah.
Were there any signs with your ex-roommate that she could be a little crazy?
Not really. Not at the beginning. This was just after that initial, good impression thing that they do. So it was, I don't even know what to look for anymore. You know what I mean? So what is a red flag? I will, like I said, I'll take doing somebody else's laundry right now before I'm going to take having an eviction on my check.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
roommates, I would say this. Roommates are a lot like romantic relationships in this way, because you're putting on, in the beginning, you're putting on your face, you're putting on your best self, and then the truth comes out.
Yep.
And a lot of time that truth ain't pretty.
All right, so let's get to the background check here. We've got a gal. Tommy, what did we find out?
All right, so our PI, my friend, did a deep dive on Marissa, the roommate to be. And first, I'll give you the good news. She does have a stable job. She works as an event coordinator, which I thought was cool. She has no criminal record to speak of. No evictions in her name. So that's all good. But there's some stuff.
Yeah, where's the but?
There's some stuff that's a little concerning. She has been listed as a co-signer on 3 different leases in the past 2 years. Each one ending in a dispute.
Oh yeah, forget. You don't even need to say anything else.
We're done.
Yeah, game is over.
No official evictions, but she could have been on the right side of it. You don't know that.
3 times.
Yeah.
At some point, it's you.
The same thing could have happened to her. That happened to Lena could have been happening to her. She could have had a bad roommate. You don't know.
It happened to Lena one time.
We don't know. We didn't find that out.
Okay.
We didn't find out who was on the wrong side of it. There was one other thing. She has changed jobs 4 times in the last year. And our PI was able to reach out to one of her former coworkers who did not say much, but did confirm that the same thing that she had told her that this was like her 4th job, and didn't elaborate any further.
Okay.
This screams not reliable.
She seems like the common denominator in all of this.
Yeah, and there's, even if she is on the right side of all of these things, and there's a reason why she's changed jobs, there's just too much risk involved in this kind of situation, which it's just too much risk based on reward.
It's not worth the headache.
She is in a desperate situation, though.
Yeah, well,
It's not too late to sell your feet on OnlyFans.
That's my backup plan.
Rock bottom, pull them feet out.
All right, Lainey, you've got all the info there. If it was me, I wouldn't take the risk on this woman, but that's a me thing. Would you?
Absolutely not.
I would not, no.
No way.
I say roll the dice, because then you can come back with another crappy roommate story.
All right, Lena, good luck. Let us know how it goes, okay? All right, if you didn't hear the show yesterday, I don't want to reset this entire thing because we got a lot of kids listening and maybe it's not appropriate. I just need answers.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
All right. No, we are, but we're not. And you're going to have to listen to yesterday's podcast to know exactly what I'm going to ask Jackson here, but I want you to keep it very vague. Did you practice the technique yesterday, and was it effective?
The Weiss technique is indeed effective.
How about that?
Are you
Wow.
serious?
How about that?
What?
That's a game changer in the entire world.
It really is,
for
though.
men.
I mean, I was as shocked as you. I'm still kind of working out the kinks a little bit, but literally, but for all intents and purposes, it's working.
Okay.
I got another question. This button you speak of,
I said let's be really careful.
I am.
All right.
This ain't my first rodeo. Does the area rhyme where it is rhyme with ain't?
No, it's in front of that, towards the front of your body.
The man's got it. I
can't find it.
Did you try it?
Typical man.
I was searching for it. And for a fat man, I think it's a little different to find the button.
Every body is different.
Yeah, I was pushing and pushing, but I wasn't finding it.
I found out yesterday that with 99% of guys, I'm just going to say this, there's a bit of a dribble problem. And for women, you guys probably didn't know this, but you might be tired of watching your men walk around the house with a little wet stain going on there and you can't figure out why. And I was the only one in here yesterday that said, I don't have this problem. So when I went to the restroom a couple of times, I tried to figure out why I'm the anomaly, and I figured out why. I have been using the technique. I didn't know it must have been a problem for me at some point in my life, and I started this technique. It's a little bit of a press thing. You're going to have to go online and listen to yesterday's show, and that's the reason. I have zero problem in this area. So I came back and I reported it. Jackson came back. It wasn't entirely effective the first time, and I said, you know what, you go home and you practice.
Practice makes perfect.
And I literally, when I got here this morning, I'm like, I got to go to Jackson to see what. I went back there and you weren't there. I was so disappointed.
Looking for Jackson for this reason is hilarious.
Yeah, why not do it on air? It works. It really does. So you got to mess around with the pressure a little bit. You got to play around with the area. You know, it's a fine-tuned instrument down there. So you gotta make it work.
I'm stunned. I genuinely thought you were capping yesterday, and you really did have this problem and didn't want to say it.
This is groundbreaking for men. If you guys are telling me 100% of men have this problem, or 99.9, this technique is groundbreaking for men. Yeah. And I'm responsible for it.
It's true.
You got to trademark it, man.
Serious?
You should take this to Shark Tank.
I think I'm going to have to call in my wife Renee for backup. She's going to have to find the button.
That's something entirely different, man.
I love that we have my friend and mentor on hold for this next segment, and she got to hear all about you guys pushing your button.
I'm sorry. Most dudes didn't even know there was a button to wouldn't push till I told him yesterday.
You solved the world problem.
How about
Kudos.
that? All right, Kristen, where are we going here? Desperate times cause for desperate actions.
Yes.
And certainly Abby is desperate.
No. What I've heard, when I see a pattern, I'm like, I start dissecting the pattern and get to the why, and then I like to be a problem solver, okay? I actually, if there's a problem, instead of just watching it happen over and over again, I'm like, okay, let's get to the nuts and bolts of this and let's try to figure out.
We're back to what we were talking about yesterday.
Yep.
Let's get to the nuts and bolts of this and figure out the why. So Abby has come on, and several times.
I'm still trying to get to the nuts and bolts.
Yeah. That's our mission. So Abby has come on, and it has happened more than once. It's happened numerous times that she will match on guys on dating apps, and then they go out, and it inevitably, the first question you ask is like, so what do you do for a living? Blah, blah, blah. And when it comes up that Abby works in radio, specifically morning radio, where we are a little more transparent and share more about ourselves, these guys freak out and go running for the hills, right? So I remember distinctly when I got my first morning radio gig, and this was almost 20 years ago in Raleigh, North Carolina. Went out to my first appearance with said morning show, and my friend and mentor, Randy West, she was our PD at the time. She pulled my then boyfriend, Bart, aside and she had a heart to Bart. And basically explained what it's going to be like dating a woman in radio. And I feel some of these dudes need to hear this and stop being scared about it and embrace it.
It takes a certain personality type, though, right? And Bart really has that. Like,
But
he's like one of the greatest assist men of all time when it comes to radio.
He has it now. I don't think he had it in the very beginning. I think this conversation with Randy really opened his eyes to what he was getting himself into that encouraged him to embrace it. So we have the one, the only Randy West on the line. Hey, girl.
Good morning.
Hi, Randy.
Thanks for joining us.
Ya?
Again, she's been on before. She's no stranger to the Bert Show. So, Randy, I texted you yesterday, and I know you had a text conversation with Bart, too. So, I just wanted you to kind of use this platform for Abby as a PSA to these dudes that this is not a bad thing that Abby works in morning radio and how they can embrace it.
Yeah, well, first of all, when I talked to Bart almost 20 years ago, he was like a deer in headlights. He was like, what is happening right now? But I will say that it is very difficult for women in media to date. I have been through this personally, and so all the guys ran for the hills with me too, Abby. So this is a very common thing, and Kristen's absolutely right. But the fact of the matter is, any guy listening out there who wants to date Abby, who matches on the dating apps, do not be afraid. However, know what you're signing up for. And I think that is a really easy thing to make really transparent from the very beginning and say, you have to let Abby shine. Be Abby, Abby share. If you're not signing up for that, need not apply. But to also set some boundaries in the relationship too, right? So when I laid it out for Bart, I said, if you're not all in, you're not all in. But just know, even when it's uncomfortable, you're going to have to let her share, and you're going to have to let Abby share. So I think maybe Abby just hasn't found the right guy, but all the guys listening who want to date Abby, if you think you're up for this and you want to let her shine, this is your opportunity.
So I got an interesting question here, because you would think, back in the day, when we're talking about 20 years ago, when you started dating Bart, there really wasn't this oversharing culture that we're in now.
Oh, no, the showground was like this 20 years ago.
Yes, on your show and the radio, but there wasn't Facebook, and there wasn't people narking on each other online all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you would almost think one of two things is going to happen now in this new culture of oversharing. Either I already know it. I've been through my entire life. I'm 28 years old. I've been watching people talk about their personal lives and their problems my entire life. Or same thing, and I just don't want that on the radio.
I think there's some of that, but I also think maybe my personality is just a turnoff. Because
do you have advice for that,
Ray? What I was going to say is that this show requires you to be the most unfiltered version of yourself, but also an elevated version of yourself. So when they see a clip of me really swinging to the right in terms of a facet of my personality. I think it just can be very polarizing for people to where it's not necessarily that they're scared, although I'm sure maybe they are inside deep down.
I think that one guy was after he heard your political attack.
Yeah, he ran for the hills. I think it's just kind of, I don't know, seeing somebody in their most like raw form. And it's fair to say that within like the first couple weeks of dating somebody, that can be a big turnoff.
And adjustments, Randy, see if you agree with this. Adjustments are made as you go along. Like in my past relationships, man, you don't know what's acceptable to the person that has really fallen in love with you until you go on the radio and you go over the line. So it immediately adds to the stress, right, Randy?
Well, look, boundaries are important, and those will come as you start dating. But, as I had this conversation with Bart, it was very early on that Kristen had started working for us, and I could already see the signs where, there gets insecurities and jealousies, and there are things when you're in the public eye that are difficult for men to manage, especially when you're a woman. And look, I think that when, Abby, the best thing is live your life out loud and find the person who will live their life out loud with you.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, that's great.
That's just great general advice right then when it comes to dating.
This is why she's my mentor.
Yeah, Randy. Thank you, Randy. That's really great stuff. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks
And
for taking
Randy,
the time.
thank you for having that conversation with Bart back in the day.
Well, of course. Yeah, I'm glad it all worked out. Worked out for the best.
Here we are 20 years later. Who'd have thought?
All right, so y'all know one of my favorite things in the world is hip hop. And so I believe my goal here is to, one, have a little bit of fun with hip hop, and two, prove how versatile hip hop can actually be. So I have started a game series that I am going to call Hip Hop vs. Random Things.
We need a more hip hop intro.
I was about to say, this is the most un-hippie hop.
It was un-hippie hop is how hip hop it's not.
This is hippie hop. We need some hip hop.
Yes, correct. Facts.
All right, so I'm going to start showing and showcasing hip hop's versatility by proving that I can confuse y'all enough with hip hop lyrics when it comes to determining if this is indeed a hip hop lyric or just a quote from a fortune cookie.
Good luck, buddy. I think we all know that I come from the mean streets of San Diego. These were my anthems.
And I come from the mean streets of Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes, good luck.
And I also come from 929's Pleasant Place out of a predominantly white suburb in Florida.
The odds are stacked against me.
Watch out.
Now, it seems like this would be easy. I'm starting y'all off light, okay? It should be easy to distinguish whether or not this is a hip-hop lyric or if this is a fortune cookie. But I think I've done a good enough job to actually confuse y'all.
Do we have to combine all our Caucasian powers in order to get one right? Or are you just going to ask us individually?
Do we need to put our fists together like Power Rangers? Like, pew, pew, pew.
I think Captain Planet would work better for y'all if y'all put your powers combined.
All right.
All right? Okay, so y'all are a team here.
Yes.
Okay, so is this lyric from hip-hop or a fortune cookie? The struggle is real, but so is the triumph. The hard-headed never learn.
I'm going to say hip hop.
Oh, wow.
I feel hip hop.
I feel hip hop. All three Caucasians are going with hip hop.
You're going with hip-hop?
Yes.
You got it. All right.
We so cool.
Who is it?
You got on the board. That is a Wu-Tang lyric.
Okay.
Second, time waits for no man. Can't turn back the hands. Learn to live with regrets.
I'm going to say fortune cookie.
It's giving fortune cookie.
Fortune cookie.
That is wrong. That is actually a Jay-Z lyric.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Jay-Z.
From what song?
Early Jay-Z. That is from Live with Regrets. That's the name of the song. Success will come. Just wait and see. Patience and work will set you free.
Fortune cookie.
I'm gonna go hip hop.
We're not working
Wait, so how does this work?
Sorry,
Y'all are a
sorry.
team.
Wait, okay.
No.
I'll just go with
Y'all got to
whatever
do the
Bert's-
Family Feud thing.
Okay.
got?
I'm feeling cookie.
Cookie. 2 cookies.
2 cookies.
We're going 3
Two cookies and a hop.
Majority rules. 2
Majority rules.
still.
That is right.
All right.
That is from a fortune cookie.
Hey.
All right, y'all got 2 out of 3. That's not bad. Y'all rolling.
We're being very hippie hop today.
Yep.
Your future is written, but the pen is in your hands.
Ooh.
That's got to be hip hop.
Okay, I'll go hip hop.
I feel hip hop in my bones.
That's solid, though. Well, we already got 2 saying hip hop, so I'll jump aboard.
You going hip hop? That is wrong.
I was
that
going to say
confused us?
fortune cookie, yeah.
Yep. No, that's from a fortune cookie.
Uh-huh.
I threw that in there to confuse y'all.
That's nice.
It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. No such thing as a life that's better than yours.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
I guess I'm going the hippity hop.
Too much ink for a fortune cookie.
Hippity hop is the final answer.
Hippity hop.
That is correct. That is actually a J. Cole lyric. All right. Dreams take flight when faith is strong. Keep on pushing. It won't be long.
Oh, I like that.
Well, because it rhymes, I feel like it's got to be a song. So I'm going hip hop.
I'm going to go with Abby and say hip hop.
Hip hop.
That is wrong.
Oh, these fortune cookies are fire.
And I found one that rhymed just to throw y'all off. See, Abby, it worked.
Yeah, China One really popped up with that one.
That was MC Confucius.
Okay, everything is everything. What is meant to be will be.
Couldn't you throw one out there like sipping on gin and juice?
Nope. Too easy.
Say it again.
Everything is everything. What is meant to be will be.
Hip hop?
I'm saying hip hop.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah, I got that one right. That's Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Even the sun goes down, heroes eventually die.
Hip hop.
It's kind of giving cookie. No?
I'm saying hip hop.
Hip hop.
You going hip hop?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is correct. That's Andre 3000 from Outkast.
They were just nominated for the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I think they got in. They're not nominated. I think they got in.
They should.
No, they're just not. It's nominations.
Nominations.
at this
They
point.
should get in. Greatness is not a destination, but a journey of perseverance.
That better be a fortune cookie.
Yeah, it's giving fortune cookie.
That is a fortune cookie.
Okay.
Okay, I got one more for y'all.
All right. And then I got a fact for you guys about fortune cookies that's upsetting me.
Okay. Okay.
An upsetting fact about fortune cookies.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I want to walk away with a win, so this is an important one. Your greatest strength comes from overcoming your hardest battles. Battle through.
Again with that?
Your greatest strength comes from overcoming your hardest battles. Battle through. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be this confusing, did you?
I'm giving fortune cookie.
I'm thinking hip hop. You're the deciding factor.
I was going to go hip hop.
Going hip hop.
Hip hop.
You're leaving on a win. That is a hip hop lyric.
All right, so I just, for whatever reason, thought fortune cookies came from, like, I don't know, ancient China from back in the day, right? And these were from some kind of scrolls.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I did, yeah.
You never thought the ones that like fortune cookies may be just like a gimmick?
So Donald Lau was the primary writer of fortunes for Wonton Food, the world's largest fortune cookie manufacturer. He worked for Wonton Food since the 1980s. Then in 2016, he's like, I'm out of wisdom. And he gave it to somebody else. Look, Galentine's Day is nice, right? Would there be a better date, though, than spending Galentine's Day knowing that you just won tickets to Beyonce? The original idea here was to make sure that you guys are having fun on Galentine's Day. That's the day that women hang out with each other. It's hard for women to get together, spend some time with each other. So Galentine's Day was kind of born, right? We had this idea, and then Kristen went next level with it.
I'm like, let's give two besties a pair of tickets to see Beyonce. So for those that don't know, Beyonce is going on her Cowboy Carter tour. This is going to be epic.
I hadn't heard that.
You
really?
hadn't heard? Yes.
That's the thing.
Who is Beyonce?
Yeah, so I
Start from the beginning.
So the Beehive knows that the artist pre-sale is today, general sale is tomorrow, but we have 4 women in studio, 2 teams of 2 pairs of besties that are going to go at it to see who knows their bestie the best to score a pair of tickets to see Beyonce in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, either July 10th, 11th, or 13th, because she just added a third show in Atlanta.
Hey, already.
Yes, already. And we haven't even done the on sale yet.
That's just cocky.
No, it's wise is what it is. So what we're going to do here, this is going to be like our version of the newlywed game, but instead it's going to be, will you be my Galentine? And we're going to see how well these pair of besties know each other. But first things first, we have to get to know our teams.
Yep.
We have to know our bestie history. We have to know why they love Beyonce so much. So we're going to start, and they gave themselves team names, which I love. So we're going to start with our first team, which is Team Yaya.
Hey.
All right, so we have Michelle and we have Tremaine. So Michelle, we're going to let you go first and just tell us the history of your friendship.
Okay, so me and Tremaine met about 3 years ago. We worked together at an elementary school. We're both teachers. I'm kindergarten. She's second grade. And yeah, it was just a pretty fast friendship. Like right away, I was like, oh, this is somebody I want to hang out with all the time.
And Tremaine, what was it about Michelle that you're like the two of you were just destined to be besties?
Well, so I'm like crazy high wire, and Michelle is so calm. She's peaceful, and so I feel like we are good balance.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yes, you do, right? You can't have too crazy together.
Yeah.
Nope. Right.
Not too crazy.
That doesn't work.
And what makes you both members of the Beehive? What makes you both Beyonce stans?
So we like B because B stands on business.
Okay.
She comes in, she takes control, and so do we.
Okay.
Hey, all right. Came strong.
Yeah.
Team Yaya.
All right, so that is Team Yaya's.
Is there a specific song?
No.
Is that for later?
Don't. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All right.
you're messing with the questions,
Let it
man.
go.
All right. Don't want to mess with Kristen's vibe. man.
Don't interfere with the
right.
questions. You might be rigging this and you don't even know it.
Okay.
All right, so next we have Team Two Most Wanted.
Hey.
All right, so we got Brittany and Tiffany.
Yes.
So Brittany, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the history of your all's relationship.
Yes. So Tiffany and I have known each other for her whole life, really. So our moms are like best friends. And although we've known each other our whole lives, it's more so as adults that we became besties because we're 9 years apart in age. And so like as kids didn't really spend time together. But now it's just like going all over town, finding random things to do, having fun.
All right, so Tiffany, even with like a 9-year age gap, what makes you guys click as besties?
I would definitely say we are yin and yang. So
I see a theme here.
Exactly. We are yin and yang. You have to have that sort of balance. Exactly what Team Yaya said. So yeah, exactly. So I'm the more kind of like extroverted person and Brittany is the more introverted person, and we just work so well together. We mesh very well.
All right. So now, Brittany, let's go into the passion behind Beyonce.
We love Beyonce. I think even though, as Tiffany said, I am more introverted, my Sasha Fierce comes out, when I'm listening to Beyonce. We're huge fans. We really loved Cowboy Carter. Like, we have both been so impressed and just listening to it all the time.
All right, so what are the rules of engagement going to be over the next couple of minutes?
Okay, so we got to know our teams a little bit. We know about their friendship. I can see everybody's got a little bit of a
nervous energy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That nervous
There's a lot
energy.
on the line here.
Yes. I mean, a pair of Beyonce tickets, which are going to be very hard to come by.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break and then we're going to come back. So we're going to let you guys, now that you've gotten used to the microphones, take a little breather. So we have sequestered our besties already. And Jackson interviewed them and asked them questions individually. So just like with the newlywed game.
Was he inappropriate at any point?
Oh, stop it.
Blink twice. Let us know now.
So when we come back, it's going to be Michelle at the mic for Team Yaya's, and it's going to be Brittany at the mic for Team Two Most Wanted. And we're going to ask them questions about their bestie. And if they get the question right, they get a point, and they get themselves one step closer to attending the Cowboy Carter tour and see Beyonce in the flesh. And we're going to go back up, and then we're going to switch, all right? And then the other bestie's going to come up. And bottom line, we have 6 total questions at the end of this. Whoever has the most points is seeing Beyonce.
The stakes are high because Beyonce tickets are on the line and a friendship will crumble today.
We may or may not have asked some inappropriate questions.
Okay, now I'm in. We'll do it next on the Bert Show. Today, one friendship gets stronger and the other one probably breaks up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Will You Be My Galentine? With a pair of Beyonce tickets to her Cowboy Carter tour on the line.
Found 4 hardcore Beyonce fans.
Yep, we have 2 pairs of besties here in the studio. We have, give it up for Team Yaya!
Yaya. Let's go.
And give it up for Team Two Most Wanted! So how well do these pair of BFFs know each other? We're going to play this in the style of the newlywed game. Before this, we had sequestered our BFFs, and they were asked questions about each other. So the name of the game is easy. You answer the question about your BFF right, you get a point. And whoever has the most points at the end wins that pair of Beyonce tickets that aren't even on sale yet.
How many rounds are there and how many are they going to?
We have 6 questions total. Now, I know what you're saying, 6. That's an even number. What if it ends in a tie? We do have a tiebreaker question in case that happens. Are we ready to play?
Yeah!
By the way,
Mo's ready. Mo's ready.
do you see the seriousness on their faces right now? They're in the zone, right? Everybody, like the last break, they're like, here's about a friendship. This is why we love Beyonce. And now we're about to play, and they're like, give us a question.
Nervous. Yeah.
All right. So at the mic, we have Michelle representing Team Yayas, and we have Brittany representing Team 2 Most Wanted. Earlier, we asked them their BFS questions, and your goal is to answer this correctly. Michelle, you are up first for Team Yayas.
Okay.
What is your BFF's favorite Beyonce song?
Oh, that's easy. She loves Tyrant. That is her favorite song. And it's one of my favorite too, but Levi's Jeans is my favorite. But hers is Tyrant.
All right. Tremaine said...
Tyrant.
Yeah, I can't.
She even sang it. Okay.
All right. That's a point for Team Yayas.
Y'all.
Yeah.
I love that remix.
All right. Brittany from Team 2 Most Wanted. We asked your BFF the same question. What is her favorite Beyonce song?
Also Tyrant.
Really?
Tyrant.
I don't know the lyrics to that song, so what makes it such a connecting song?
Being a tyrant.
Identifying as a tyrant.
All right, so we are tied up 1-1. We got ourselves a game, people. All right, again.
Well, I hope so after one round.
Yeah.
So it can't be a blowout.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. Team Yayas, back to you, Michelle. Who did Tremaine say was her first celebrity crush?
Ooh.
I actually love that I know the answer to this because it's it's Marcus Houston, but more specifically from Sister Sister when he was on Sister Sister.
All right, Tremaine said
Marcus Houston. You know, Roger. Go home, Roger.
Roger.
I can't. I'm sorry. You're hilarious.
And y'all have only known each other 3 years?
Yes.
3 years.
But when I'm telling you guys, like, it was a quick friendship, and it was like automatically, I was like, this is the person I want to hang out with all the time. And we do hang out all the time.
That's great.
I love this. This is a beautiful Galentine's Day we're having, but we still have Beyonce tickets on the line. All right, Team Yayas, 2 points. Here we go. Team 2 Most Wanted. Brittany, who did Tiffany say was her first celebrity crush?
I will say Chris Brown.
Tiffany said?
Probably Justin Bieber.
Two very similar personalities.
You have a type, clearly. All right, Team Yayas 2, Team 2 Most Wanted 1. We still have plenty of questions to play.
And our second friends have known each other 9 years.
Okay.
Their whole lives.
Right.
All right, here we go. Question number 3. Michelle, for Team Yayas. What would Tremaine say is your worst personality trait?
Ooh.
Not her worst personality trait, but your. What would Tremaine say is your worst personality trait?
Well, I'm perfect, so I don't know what she.
That might be it.
That's a tough one.
That might be it right there. She thinks she's perfect.
Right, I'm too perfect. But I know she's told me that, I don't know, sometimes I can be, I don't know, maybe too chill, and whereas she's a little, I don't know, because especially like in stressful situations, I might be too calm.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, Tremaine said.
People say I'm just really too calm. They made me mad. I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
So was that
So is that right?
Is that right?
Did you play the right one?
was that what you were saying about Michelle, that she was too calm?
Yeah.
Well, of course she's going to say
Yeah, she will say no.
Yeah, give me the point. All right, Team Yayas, you got a point for that one because you were right. You said you got it too calm.
I think we asked it about themselves. I think they had the same answer, though.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. This is the Beyonce tickets are on the line for this, so hold on 1 second. We want to make sure we get this right. So y'all talk among yourself for a second. Seriously.
All right. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the question was asked, what would you say is the worst personality trait of your BFF? Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go to Team 2 Most Wanted. Brittany, what would Tiffany say is your worst personality trait?
Probably that I tend to be late to things.
All right. Tiffany said?
I'm always late.
There you go.
Okay. Perfect. So that means a point for Team 2 Most Wanted. So here we go. Team Yaya's 3, Team 2 Most Wanted. That is the first round. So ladies, now we switch out and we bring your team members back up.
Okay.
All right. It's a good first round.
I don't know what I'm nervous about.
What are you nervous for?
I don't have tickets.
Nothing's on the line for you.
All right. So again,
All right.
Team Yaya's 3 points. Team 2 Most Wanted 2 points. Tremaine is at the mic for Team Yaya's, and we have Brittany at the mic, Tiffany at the mic for Team 2 Most Wanted. So now we're going to start with you, Tiffany. Okay. They went first last time. You're going first this time. Tiffany from Team 2 Most Wanted. What did Brittany say is the one body part she wants to change about herself?
Oh.
So she was talking about herself.
She was talking about herself, not the body part you want to change about you, but the body part she would want to change about herself.
And not the body part you want to change about her.
Yes.
I would say maybe her legs.
All right. What did Brittany say?
Ooh, I would say legs.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Give it to Team 2 Most Wanted, 3 points. All right. Here we go, Tremaine. For Team Yaya's. What did Michelle say is the one body part she wants to change about herself?
I'm going to go with her stomach.
All right. Her stomach. All right. What did Michelle say?
I'd say my chin.
Her chin.
That's a dangerous question.
Yeah, it is. There's going to be some talk after this. Like, what's wrong with my stomach?
Even if you get the Beyonce tickets, you might not be going together.
All right. You guys, we are tied up.
All right, we got a game, Kristen.
We got a game. We're at question 5. We only got 2 questions yet. Hey, it's tighter than the Super Bowl. You're welcome.
That's a fact.
All right, Team Yaya's 3, Team 2 Most Wanted. Here we go. Starting with Team 2 Most Wanted. Tiffany, for Team 2 Most Wanted. Who was Brittany's first kiss?
Joe?
All right. Did Brittany say Joe?
Boy in high school, Ronnie.
Who is Joe?
Yeah, Joe is now finding out that he wasn't the first.
Poor Joe. All right. Tremaine, for Team Yaya's. Who was Michelle's first kiss?
Well, Shelly, you haven't kissed many. So, I'm going to go with Michael.
Did Michelle say Michael?
Boy in high school, Theus. Oh, God.
Not these.
All right. We are still tied up 3-3. We have come down to the final question.
This is it right here.
Wow.
The Beyonce tickets on the line.
So if one gets it right and the other one gets it wrong, we got ourselves a winner, correct? Okay.
All right. The last question for Team 2 Most Wanted. So this is going to be what Brittany said, okay, Tommy?
Beyonce tickets on the line.
Here we go. Tiffany, what is your BFF's most embarrassing moment?
Her most embarrassing moment, I would say,
She's like a spelling bee.
oh my goodness.
Would you like the origin of the question?
I would probably say when she tripped at a party.
When she tripped at a party. All right. What did Brittany say, Tommy?
Falling out of a chair at a family dinner.
Hey, so
That
this
was
is
so close.
This is going to be for the win here, then.
So, I mean, I'm going to let, because she thinks it's so close, but do we agree that that wasn't falling out of chairs, not tripping?
Not the same. I'm sorry.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so you get this right.
Yep.
You've got Beyonce tickets.
No pressure.
All right.
It has literally come down to the last
You've
question.
been real bouncy up until now.
Keep that energy.
The last question for Team Yaya's with a pair of Beyonce tickets on the line for Galentine's Day. Tremaine, what is your BFF's most embarrassing moment?
Well, this chick went and got herself locked in a locker.
Locked in a locker?
What?
No. All right. Michelle. Michelle said,
I accidentally locked myself in a locker.
There we go! There we go! I want to hear this story, though.
Excellent game,
Good
ladies.
job, y'all.
So impressed with your friendship. Hopefully this didn't sever any ties.
Hold on a second. Nobody leaves until we find out how you locked yourself in a locker. Come on in.
Come on, girl.
So, my sister, she used to play basketball at this high school. And so I would go with her to practice, and I had these friends that we would play with. And so one time we were looking at the lockers, and one was open. So we opened it up. Everybody's taking their turns going in. It's finally my turn. They close the door, turn the lock, and leave me there. And when I tell you, it was the youngest one who did it. So she couldn't even tell anybody I was in there. She was like, Michelle's in jail. Michelle's in jail. So yeah, a janitor finally came and let me out.
Wow. Hey, congratulations. You are going to see Beyonce.
That moment helped you see Beyonce. See, that locker turned out to be a good thing.
Right.
And consolation prize, we're sending you guys to go see Cisco. I got a bone to pick with one of you guys in here that had a bone to pick with me, but I'm picking it with you before you can pick it with me again.
It's a lot of bone picking.
A lot of bone picking going on, right?
Let's put these bones away.
Cassie, I want you to grab a mic.
Mm-hmm.
And my first question is, how quickly can you and Rebecca put up a Bert Show poll on the website or social? Very quickly?
Very quickly.
Okay, good. You bugged me again a couple of days ago.
Shocker.
When this isn't the normal daily one.
Oh, okay.
This is an outline one. Got it.
This is more than just your presence.
She's brought it up before, and I let it go. And she brought it up again a couple of days ago, and I think it's unfair. And here it is. It's Valentine's Day. And of course, with Valentine's Day, not only am I the only one in here that loves to celebrate love on the show, but with that, and it's not just Valentine's Day, it could be birthdays, also Christmas. I am very, very thoughtful with the words that I choose in the cards that I give.
You are. I would agree with that.
Thank you very, very much. They are thought out. I do struggle in front of the computer as I am writing the words out.
Typing
The words out.
It's not writing.
It is writing. It absolutely is writing. I wrote a whole book and I didn't write on paper.
It is,
not
yeah,
one
that's true.
letter.
It's writing. It's not handwriting.
It's not handwriting. And here's where Cassie's beef is. So when I write these letters, and I got a beautiful one, it's all ready for Amanda. It's really heartfelt. And Cassie has said over the years that she's very turned off by the fact that what I will do is I will write it, I will print it, I will fold it, I will put it in a Valentine's Day card that I got from Target, and inside of it, they have their pretty standard messages. Well, life would just not be the same without you. And then I'll just put like, love you, Bert on it. But within that is this long thought out, heartfelt letter that is printed out. For Cassie, that doesn't count. And you have maintained this for years. You brought it up the other day, and it bothered me.
Well, I brought it up because you were ragging on my girl Kristen for something, and I forget what it was.
Not even connecting the two, really. It just came out of nowhere.
So it's lovely that you write these long letters, and I think if it works for you and your girlfriend, then that's fine. But for me personally, I appreciate when Chad gives me handwritten cards with all the sides completely filled out, because he also writes me these beautiful odes. And it's all handwritten.
All the sides completely written out.
Yeah, and it will be small print. Like, he will write it like a book because he's a great writer and he handwrites the cards.
The writing is the same. It doesn't matter if it's on a computer or if it's handwritten. Words and writing are the same.
If your hand doesn't cramp up and you're not like, how did I get through school writing, then you don't love me.
But someday you're going to die.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, it could be tomorrow.
Escalated quickly.
Could be by the end of the show.
Someday you're going to die.
Yeah.
And maybe she's going to want a tattoo of your handwriting handwriting, and she's going to want a tattoo of your handwriting saying like your handwritten I love you, but she's not going to have it because you typed everything. So what she's going to have to get is Times Roman numeral on her arm, and that's going to be your handwriting.
Or heaven forbid, Helvetica.
Or Comic Sans.
Or Papyrus. Or Arial. Oh my God, Papyrus.
Never. What a stretch that is.
Yeah,
so
I've seen Bert's handwriting. Ain't nobody getting
That's
that.
what I'm saying. If she gets a tattoo of my name that I have written out, she's not even going to know what it says.
They're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know you had a second son.
Hey, the words mean just as much if they're handwritten or not. And I'll tell you what I probably would end up doing. If I'm handwriting it, then I would probably shorten the amount of emotion that goes into it and the words that I'm using, because writing is too hard.
That's my point. That right there. It takes effort to write something.
It's still writing.
Yeah, but it takes effort to come up with the message, but then it takes even more effort to handwrite it out, and it's so personal. It's like the equivalent, and I don't want handmade gifts, so if my kids hear this, don't make me any, but it's the equivalent of making a gift versus just buying a generic from a store. It shows extra effort, and it shows that you put yourself out.
Okay, wait, let's stay there for just 1 second. How many handcrafted gifts does Chad give you for Valentine's Day? Handcrafted.
Not many, honestly, but the thought he puts into them is what actually counts. And that's my point. It's the thought that you put into it and the effort that you go to and the lengths that you go to. So, for instance, right?
It's the exact same.
It
is the exact same.
If it's the thought that counts.
Here we go. Here's an example. Chad knows I like tea. So for Christmas, he got me a kettle and then found a local organic loose leaf tea shop and picked out specific teas for me. He could have just ordered Tetley from Walmart or picked up a pack from Publix, but he didn't because he went the extra length.
So let me ask you a question. Let's say in this exotic tea experiment, he knows the exotic teas that you like, but rather than driving all around town, orders the same exact teas online. Is it the same, or does he not get as much credit?
No, it's the same because the product is the same. A handwritten letter and a typed letter are not the same thing.
The words,
the product is the same.
Yeah, the product
No,
of the
the
words.
product is the handwriting. Handwriting is part of it.
Yes, Tom.
Cassie, I have something that will win your argument.
What?
Remember several years, 10 in fact, in a row, that we did something called the Bert Show's Big Thank You?
Yeah.
I do.
What did we send to our soldiers?
Handwritten letters.
Handwritten.
Yes.
We would not accept what kind of letters, Bert?
We would not accept printed off letters.
Like typed or, anything other than what, Bert?
Handwritten letters.
Handwritten letters, because they mean what?
There's more effort goes into it.
And they mean more.
Yes.
That's a good point.
That's a very good point.
I rest my case for Cassie.
Okay,
Thank you,
good
Tommy.
point.
But that was because somebody could write a generic letter and print a bunch of them out. Whereas in this case, you're writing, like these are original words every single time.
More than once a year.
Even if it was just one letter, we'd still reject it if it was typed. Listen, I'm not saying what you do is bad. And honestly, I think that the fact that you even write the letters is lovely. I do. And I've received some of them and I like them. I just say I think it means more if you handwrite it. And if you really want to make a statement, you handwrite it.
I'm guessing the percentage of women that even get cards for Valentine's Day is pretty low these days. So even getting anything written or printed is a great gift.
Well, that's a fast way to not be exceptional, is to see the bars in hell and be like, good enough.
Yeah. So you should get points for not doing the bare minimum?
Yes.
No, I am saying that I think that you could be turning off guys. I am not losing this battle. I 100% believe in this.
Digging in.
100%. Let's take it to the people.
Okay, but when we do the poll, I think you should handwrite out a sentence so people
Absolutely
can see.
not.
No, so people can see how bad your handwriting is.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't.
It doesn't? Because I do feel like if your handwriting is really bad to the point where you're like, you may honestly struggle to read this, I could understand someone saying, let me type it out for that reason.
Try harder. Write
on
slower.
your handwriting?
Yes. Learn better. Write better. I don't like that's how people communicate. It's like literally twice a year. It's Valentine's Day and maybe a birthday that you send your significant other a card. And
Christmas.
For me, if it works for you, I don't cards at Christmas, no, I don't do that.
I do those too.
Well, a newsletter, a family newsletter is different from a love note to your significant other, right? If it works for you, then that is fantastic. I'm saying my threshold, I need it to be handwritten in order to actually be meaningful. And then when I get that, I'm like, this man took the time to sit down and write with his hands all his emotions about how he felt about me. I hate handwriting stuff. And I get it. It sucks. And so then I'm like, look what he did for me. That makes me feel good. He didn't use Chat GPT to spit out a random love letter that he printed.
No, the Chat GPT has nothing to do with because it's coming from the heart of its original idea.
Not the AI's heart. It's coming from Bert's heart.
Yes.
The
Okay, so let me ask you this. So let me ask you this, Cassie, because you sound like the kind of woman that if he handwrites you a letter, you're going to go, that was nice, but you could have used a feather and ink. And that would have been real effort right there.
It's called a quill.
Sounds like you know you're losing, so you're attacking my character. I am winning this. No, I'm telling you, and a feather and ink is cool, but it doesn't really matter.
But it's not nearly as good. But that's the best you could do.
But
is
why?
a quill and ink because handwritten is not. That's not even effort.
The quill and ink takes about the same amount as a ball pen. You just dip it and write.
Absolutely not.
Have you written with quill and ink? Because I have.
Who hasn't? That besides somebody from Emory that's 190 years old has not written with a quill and
So
ink.
maybe you should listen to me when I say it's essentially almost the same amount of effort.
I feel like Will Ferrell and Anchorman, and I'm about to be like, wow, that escalated quickly.
All right, put it to the test.
Okay.
Put it up online. I don't trust you to put up a sentence or a question that will not be misleading. I don't even know that I trust Rebecca on this one.
Okay, so fair not trusting me, and I have in the past skewed results with the way I ask questions. However, you pay Rebecca's paycheck, so I think you can trust her.
Well, then you shouldn't. So maybe it should be somebody else. I don't. All right, for the first time in a very long time, I'm nervous here on the show because my girl Amanda has called in to weigh in on this whole handwriting versus not handwriting thing. This could very well change the way that she gets letters. And the way it might change is none at all. Hi, Amanda.
Hey, babe.
Hi.
So I heard you guys discussing this, and I do appreciate so much how much effort you put into it. You really do put more effort than, choose my words wisely, than most men. But I have to go with Cassie. The extra effort is just a wee bit more romantic.
Okay, now you and I might have our first on-air argument. Now, I do believe that it was around Christmas time where you said you don't even exchange cards.
Okay, that is not true. I don't do Christmas cards.
Okay.
I've given you a card for everything. I love writing thank you notes, cards for birthdays, whatever else. And I even sent Christmas cards with you and Hollis to where we all went, Portugal. So I actually did Christmas cards for you this year too, and they were handwritten.
So you would rather have a less word love letter than a more word printed out letter.
No, I would want the same words, just handwritten.
Why has it got to be less words?
I can't do it. I think I have a nice card ready for you to go, but I don't think it's going to have any words in it.
The man has his limits.
That's it. I love you, but man, this is where you draw the line. There's a lot of sacrifice there.
By the way, I have a handwritten note from Amanda that I read every morning at my desk.
Is that right?
Because it means a lot.
I gave her the words to use for that.
Oh, did you? You told me I was a GD magical unicorn?
I'll see you later, babe.
All right, love you. Bye.
Love you. All right, I still want this poll up online. I don't care.
Take it to the streets.
Man, she's taking a lot of pressure off. She's taking a lot of pressure off of me. She's getting no card at all this year. A couple of interesting things have happened in my DMs over the course of the last 24 hours. I am not holding our bonus content hostage for you guys to listen to hear the dribble technique. But those of you, and mostly women, this must really bother women about their dudes. Women asking about the technique that I discovered to stop the man dribble, asking me about it. I can't put in words. I mean, it's too long to put in words. So I am directing you guys to the bonus content next week where we talk about it. And I'm not doing that to get your $2.99. It's just that, how do I write that out in a DM?
Oh, you don't, because that's going to come back to bite you.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
I can't.
You need to do like a YouTube tutorial.
You need some graphics. Oh, no, that won't work.
No diagrams.
No diagrams.
Yeah, right. It can't be. So there's been a couple of guys in my DMs hitting me, asking me where the button is, and women asking me about the technique. And can you look? I wouldn't endorse this, Cassie, but can you sign up for bonus content for a month and then not subscribe after that?
Yeah, you can just do it 1 month and cancel your account.
All right, so it's going to cost you, what is it?
I think it's like $4 or something like that.
$4 for groundbreaking, what has turned out to be a groundbreaking technique that helps out clearly 99% of guys.
This is the theme of your OnlyFans page. What you need to do is start an OnlyFans, and all it is you video, like all it is you filming yourself going number one and showing everybody the technique over and over and over.
Can I hire a model to do it?
No, you have to do it.
You're not getting your money's worth of on this.
It's some money in it, though.
Yes, Tommy.
I tried this again this morning. I could not find this button that you speak of. So I ran to the break room. I found a chip clip instead.
That's insane.
I think you might be. Yeah, you know what it is you got to practice while in full stream, and then you can see its effect, and then you work your way up to the final dribble.
Oh, okay. It's an advanced movement.
If you press it in full stream, does it stop?
It doesn't stop it. It just, you can clearly see it slowing it down.
Sounds painful.
It's not.
No?
Not at all.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm afraid it's going to be like when you put your thumb over the end of a hose.
You kink it and it goes everywhere.
That's exactly what I feel like is going to happen.
All right. This is going to be counterproductive to what we did yesterday and earlier this morning, though. I'm almost a little bit nervous for you to rattle off this stat.
Yeah, it may shock some, it may not shock others, but it was a little bit shocking to me to hear it in totality. But we have been talking about the gym lately, and if you do go to a public gym, maybe this is information that you should be aware of. But a new study has just revealed that the free weights in public gyms apparently carry 362 times more bacteria than a toilet seat.
Oh my God.
Than a toilet seat?
Than a toilet seat. They say that the equipment harbors a high number of harmful microbes, including those that are linked to skin infections and respiratory issues. And the study highlights the importance of regularly sanitizing gym equipment to reduce the risk of illness. Fitness experts recommend wiping down weights before and after use to minimize exposure to bacteria. And they also advise gym goers to wash their hands frequently to avoid touching their faces during workouts for this reason.
So you'll see a lot of people wiping down the equipment, like that chest press one that we used yesterday, Kristen and I talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the gym will wipe those down. I don't think that I have ever seen anybody wipe down free weights before. Those are like the barbells that you were using yesterday?
Yeah, the barbells, the dumbbells. I don't think anyone ever wipes those down. And a lot of people don't wear gloves either. They say if you wear gloves, that's a safer way to go, but I know a lot of people don't like to do that in the gym either.
I'm surprising that I work out, but I always wipe down any weights that I use, like the handles and stuff, because I thought it was common that you're supposed to wipe down all equipment, mats, whatever I'm on, if I'm on that little balance ball, or it's all wiped down.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I'll wipe down the mat also, and I'll wipe down like anything my back touches or my booty is touching. But as far as my hands go, I've never even thought about it and never even seen anybody do it before.
Same.
But remember, I'm doing this strength training for 20 minutes. My goal is not to sweat. So my rule of thumb is if I don't sweat, I don't wipe it down.
Nah, you should wipe it down regardless.
Yeah, because the person before you might have left all that skankiness behind. I guess is what he's saying.
And it's like just common courtesy to wipe it down for the person coming after you as well. A lot of people don't do that.
You're giving me more and more reasons not to do this strength training.
You should take a little more strength.
Yeah, you should be thanking him more than anything else. So we got this tradition on Valentine's Day, and I think the standard thing is, well, you're going to go out for dinner, blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking at the statistics this morning, and it says that 63% of women don't even want to go out for Valentine's Day. They'd rather stay in.
That's me.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. It's because, and there is something about, in this city particularly, Valentine's Day is on crack. The weather, or not the weather's bad today because I just looked out the window, but the traffic. And because the weather is bad, the traffic is next level on Valentine's Day in the city. And then the restaurants are so crowded. They put the tables so close together.
Yeah.
It's literally like you're having Valentine's Day dinner with the people sitting right next to you.
Do restaurants do that? Do they add tables on that day?
It felt like it
A
the
lot of
last
them
2
do.
times we have went out. Like, I mean, we were on top of each other.
Same for me. Every time I've gone out on Valentine's Day, for some odd reason, it seems like the seats are always set up to where you're on top of each other. And I think it's because they try to make more room.
I am curious, if you're in the restaurant industry, do you guys add more tables on Valentine's Day to squeeze a couple more bucks out? Because it does feel that way, but I wonder if it's a perception thing. 1-855-BERT-SHOW.
Because having worked in the restaurant industry, you have 2 tops, you got 4 tops, you got 5 or 6 tops. So I'm thinking for Valentine's Day, depending on what their reservation book looks like, they're taking out those bigger tables and just packing in more smaller tables to get more reservations.
And the way I see it, most couples would rather be at one of those long tables where you got a bunch of other people around so you can talk to somebody else.
Keep the long tables in.
How do you guys feel about Valentine's Day proposals? Because I got a stat on that one also.
Cliche. I really dislike any proposal around a holiday because so many people do it, so then it doesn't feel like it's special, your moment. But I also kind of feel like it lacks originality. And I feel like that's what makes a good proposal, is making it really special to your relationship.
Even though if you ask me right now what our proposal date is, like when Bart proposed to me, it was in March.
You don't know the exact day.
I don't. I think it was sometime in the first week of March.
Cassie, you know?
Yeah, it was August 11th.
Okay.
I remember.
Neat.
Calls are coming in about the restaurant industry and Valentine's Day. Hey, Rachel, good morning.
Good morning. Yep, I work at a popular steak restaurant, and we absolutely take the 4 tops away and put 2 tops in and cram you guys in.
Yep.
Knew it.
Yeah.
So we're not imagining it.
Well, makes
Thank you,
sense.
Rachel.
Thank you.
Nope, not at all.
Appreciate you.
And we try and turn you over pretty quickly, so you might get your food faster on Valentine's Day because we want to turn tables fast.
Yeah, I said this when I came back from Europe the last time too. That's not a thing in Europe at all. You once you're there, you have the table for as long as you want, and they will not ask you if you are done with dinner, or they will not ask you if it's time for the check. You can sit there for as long as you want. I think I told you guys that when Hollis and I went out for Christmas Eve, we made a reservation and they told us downstairs, like, hey, just want to let you know, we've got openings between 7 and 10. And we said, okay, we'll take it at 8. And I was expecting them to say, look, don't be late. And they were trying to make it clear that we had the whole table from 7 to 10. It was a 3-hour block.
Wow.
And the restaurant closed at 10 o'clock.
That's awesome.
So that's an American thing right there. And 41% of dudes say that they would love a male equivalent to Galentine's Day.
Oh, you all need a little bromance in your life.
Valentine's Day.
That's every Sunday for me.
Right.
We watch football.
Right. All right, so we call Thursdays, follow-up Thursdays. You guys hit us up, and you're like, hey, Bert Show, you might have forgot to give us some closure on blank. So, for follow-up Thursday today, Mo?
Tara was frustrated with her boyfriend of 3 years who'd gotten really lazy in their relationship. No date nights, no compliments, no romantic gestures, and no proposal in sight. She felt totally undervalued, so she decided to make dating app profiles, not to actually date, just to prove how desirable she was, and showed him all the attention she was getting.
What could go wrong?
Instead of stepping up his game like she hoped, he blew up and called it cheating. After they broke up, she actually ended up hitting it off with a guy from one of the apps and went on an amazing date with him. Super attentive, charming, the works. Plot twist, her ex started sending flowers and apologizing like crazy. She agreed to one final conversation at his place where he got super emotional and vulnerable about taking her for granted. She ended up taking him back and canceling on the new guy, hoping her ex would keep up this new energy and changed attitude. Well, did he?
Here's the update. She said, just wanted to drop in with a quick update that made me smile. Remember how I was hoping my boyfriend would, quote, keep this energy? Well, he's been going above and beyond. He surprised me by planning our first Valentine's Day back together. He's taking me on a weekend getaway to this cute coastal bed and breakfast I once mentioned wanting to visit.
Dude, kudos.
He actually listened when I talked about wanting more thoughtful gestures. He's been showing that he cares more with subtle gestures, planning date nights, etc. Just this morning, I found a a handwritten note on my bathroom mirror. Notice how I didn't say typed. On my bathroom mirror saying how grateful he is for our fresh start. The old him would have just gotten basic roses and called it a day, but he's really showing me he meant everything he said about changing. I know some of you might still be skeptical, but I can genuinely feel the difference in how he's treating me now. He's more present, more attentive, and actually putting in the effort to make me feel special. Maybe sometimes people really do need a wake-up call to realize what they have. For now, I'm just excited about spending a romantic weekend away together and seeing where this renewed relationship takes us.
A good one.
Yay!
There we go.
The Bert Show.